Welcome everybody to Tristrike Tuesdays number 19. My name is Maleev and I will be commentating for this first block. Joining alongside me, we have Velvet. Hello there!
Hello, very happy to be here. First commentary, might I add. Very excited. I played in a good few of these, but it's nice to just sit back for once and just enjoy the action that we got going here today.
Indeed. It's very interesting to kind of play competitively or even play casually and kind of get an idea of how Splatoon plays and then take a seat back and then watch others play and then kind of try to extrapolate from what you've learned and understood from your experiences playing and turn it into descriptions for others who might be watching and try to provide some interesting and entertaining context.
Well, that's the funny thing. I'm not really good at taking that kind of information in. I can't soak that kind of information. I can't watch a top player and be like, oh, this is what I should be doing. I just watch it and be like, whoa, cool play, and get really excited, and then move on with my life. So,
Well, you see, the trick with commentary is whether you like it or not, if you're commentating, you're going to learn those skills.
Oh.
And
I hope so.
Speaking of skills, we've got a couple of stages. Actually, it looks like we've got the game already coming up. So really, speaking of skills here, let's take a quick look at our loadouts from Time to Win and Loud Noises. Time to Win coming in with a heavy edit, Cavitator, Splat Dualies, and a Splashmatic. Loud Noises coming in with a Slosher, Ink Brush, a heavy edit as well, and a Splatter Shot Junior. And we've already got some heavy damage coming in from Frenzy with a nice Shark and aiding and claiming the zone for their team.
Yeah, really strong opening here. The brush just going on, already causing absolute havoc in base. And Frenzy is just really causing a bunch of chaos out here. And they can't seem to get rid of them. One pick there. There we go. Finally gets the trade-off.
Yeah, that brush doing a really phenomenal job just showing one of the core ways that you want to play brush is just hogging attention, moving fast, being really efficient with your ink, and just getting really simple and strong ambushes when your opponent's guard are lowered. Gave a very good opportunity for the rest of the team to hold a lot of control. You saw Time to Win even had the crab out and could not do much off of it because the rest of the team was pretty heavily distracted.
Yeah,
and we're seeing they're still getting snuffed out pretty heavily. Though, I see the Dualies not able to get through. We've got the Decavitator successfully jumping over, trying to keep things up, but too little, too late. There was just too much control coming in from Loud Noises, who completely controlled that field from start to finish with a clean and clear knockout.
Yeah, really strong opening. Got a really couple quick early picks. And again, that brush was the main problem for Time to Win there. Just couldn't deal with them quick enough, and then allowing Loud Noises to just kind of stagger them, keep them in spawn, and just keep the zone for the rest of the game.
I mean, the ultimate Loud Noise there was probably the Killer Whale, which, if I remember correctly, that is a weapon based on noise, right?
I believe so, yes, actually.
Indeed. That brush was certainly making some loud noises as it was just keeping Time to Win very, very distracted. That's a really difficult position to kind of come back from, where Loud Noises, with the assistance of that brush and kind of just carrying through from that momentum, just took control of the field and then just held everything down and really prevented Time from being able to regain their footing. I know I said it during the game, but you saw the crab come out from the Splat Dualies and it did literally nothing because it was the crab just painting the same spot that three others were painting because everybody else was so focused on just dealing with that ink brush.
And then once they finally got that brush out, they just got hard staggered by the rest of the team.
Indeed. Especially really with how little time was left. They didn't have their specials ready. They didn't have any game plan kind of set up. They just got disorganized and panicked from that opening play and then just really lost their tempo.
You need to you need to slow down. You need to bring it to your pace.
Indeed. Do you think the next stage will help them out with that? Humpback Pump Track is a... Oh, no, it looks like we're going to Hagglefish Market. I feel like this one should help
Ink
them a little
brush.
bit more. It's a lot harder to shark well in this stage.
Maybe, but there's a lot of places for that brush to go and just kind of, again, be a nuisance, be a really big distraction. But we'll find out here on this opening.
We do have
There
the
we go.
splatter shot swapped, or the Splash-O-Matic swapped over to the splatter shot. This ink brush doing its job once again, trying to be really distracting.
On the flank.
And yeah, no, this is another clean situation where they've just kind of completely lost tempo, lost a lot of control. The heavy at it does manage to hold their ground because they just have that safe of a position, but so they have a chance to kind of push back, and that's looks like what they're trying to do with the Tacticooler. Not really working though.
No, I don't think the header dropping was the right move there. And they're kind of just almost solo rushing. Yeah, Time to Win, just kind of in panic mode now. Does get the cap on the zone and gets a couple picks, but it's a case of can they hold it? And it's not for very long. They're really just struggling to keep neutral game here.
They actually managed to get another successful trade in those fights, and now it looks like it is Loud Noise's turn to try to be on the back foot and respond to the pressure. We got the big bubbler up. Frenzy taking advantage of that distraction. It looks like Time to Win completely caught off guard once again by this ink brush. They need to figure out how to respond to this thing because it's constantly terrifying them and distracting them. They stopped it, but they lost the base. Or they lost the zone.
You need to keep tabs on that brush and just find a way to deal with it. If not, ignore it and let them come to you. That's all you have to do, I think, in that situation there.
Indeed, indeed. Both sides fighting back for control of this zone, and it looks like it's going to be Time to Win that's holding it, but they still have a lot of work to do. They've just got through the penalty, but they've already got another penalty going on here as Loud Noise is just powering through, and now they're pushing into Time to Win's base. The crab destroyed by a slosher.
That's the second or third crab that they've lost now. This is getting concerning. They cannot get the specials out at all. Finally gets the crab out, but at what cost, you have to wonder. As that zone keeps taking down, and a bubble for protection, they are just struggling.
Yeah, they're really not finding their tempo. They're not finding their spaces. They're kind of just getting walled out. And I'm noticing there's a lot of, like, you pointed out a bit before, but I'm going to kind of bring it up again. They feel really scattered in a lot of their plays. They're playing well, but they're all playing their own game.
Yeah.
And Loud Noise they're a little more synergized, but a lot of it is they're just playing off of how terrifying this brush really is behaving for the rest of Time to Win and just completely shutting them out.
Yeah, that brush is being all look at me. You see the decap chasing him there and just luring him and gets the trade, but you know, again, at what cost? You got a lot of time left ticking on that zone to try and get this lead here.
They do have control of the field, but a triple ink strike will be more than enough to be able to reclaim this zone. And now, like, Time to Win starting to close the gap on that distance a little bit, but we've got another penalty and only 90 seconds left on the clock for them to be able to bring control back. This is not looking good for them, but they're fighting a lot more than they were in the last game.
Yeah, but they're back on that stagger again. They're struggling again to get those specials out and just get some paint on the floor. This penalty is quickly ticking down now. And this is almost looking like game here. Yeah, two down for Time to Win. And
yeah. Oh, they might be able to reclaim it here, but I mean, even then, a minute left on the clock. Unless they can hold it for the rest of this time, that penalty barely means anything. It just means that they don't get instantly knocked out. That was a really solid Trizuka.
Again,
if it wasn't for the fact that they have nobody to benefit from that Trizuka. "30 seconds left on the clock. Loud Noise is once again pushing for a knockout. Looks like they might lose the zone here, but I don't think they're too worried about that, as they just have to claim it once in the next, like, 20 seconds and the game's over. 7 seconds left. This brush is trying to find something to shark. I think that's gonna be it.
Oh.
That
yeah,
is...
no one saw it. No one saw the flank.
Yeah, the flank is down. Oh, they managed to successfully take him out. They're going for a hard push, but is this too aggressive? They do get the trade. They get taken out by the ink brush, and I think that is now it.
Again, it was the solo fights. They're playing completely separated. Just no team synergy there. At least it didn't feel like anyway. It felt like, you know, for time to win, everyone kind of had a different objective.
And you saw them all like scream, like the few that were surviving, scream as soon as they saw the triple ink strike coming out and be like, no, we need to stop that. And it was already too late. By the time they turned their back on the rest of Loud Noises just had a very easy time just finishing off the few remaining members. And yeah, no, they were staggered in a lot of points. There were solid plays from Time to Win, but that very much felt like they were scattered the entire time. They don't have an idea on how to respond to that ink brush. And ultimately the big thing is they're not synergizing their specials.
No, well, they can't get the specials out. They're not staying alive long enough to get the specials. There was a lot of that game where they were either 1 or 2 down. And then when they did go 1 or 2 down, it was a special that was lost via crab cancel or cooler cancel. They just couldn't get them out and get them, you know, going.
And that's a good point and something interesting to keep in mind that for players that's really hard to do well. It's easy to be like, oh, I need to be more careful and not get splatted so I can keep my special. But it's really easy to underestimate how difficult that can be in a game, especially when you're trying to recover. There's so many cases where you just like rush in to try to paint something and you just walk right into an ink brush.
Well, I don't think they were keeping full tabs on that ink brush. You saw at the end there, they kept running down that left side all game. And that final flank, they do it again. You figured by that point, they would have been keeping tabs on left.
Yeah, you would think that. But unfortunately, I feel like Time to Win was a little too scattered that entire game to fully catch on. At this point, though, if they want to get at least one win against this team, they have to catch on to what this brush is doing. They have to come up with some kind of answer. What do you think they should do to kind of answer this? Outside of potentially just like the standard stuff that you might expect, like, oh, hey, I saw the brush over here. Oh, where's the brush?
You need the brush to come to you. You don't want to be chasing that brush around. Let them come into you and come into your line of fire.
Especially since it's so easy for the brush to outrun you, because when it's using, it's just like it's holding its shot. Like, you just watch how fast it moves. They run faster than they swim. Like, look how fast this guy's going.
Already all the way around. And this is what Time to Win should have picked up from the last couple games, is that they're going to flank early and they're going to keep flanking. And yet again, they get away with it. You get a trade-off. Not even a trade. The brush is not dead.
Yeah, it's so many situations where it's just, they play a little too, not even aggressively, it's just that they hang close to ledges and areas that in a typical game you might feel that aren't in danger. Like, you're like, oh, that area is probably nobody's there. But they're leaving themselves exposed to corners and ledges where it's really easy for this brush to kind of jump in and take out 1 or 2 players in a trade, or maybe even just take one out and then split.
Yeah, here we go. Finally, a special coming out. Looking to get a couple picks. Loud Noises actually struggling a little bit this game compared to the first 2. Time to Win, showing that they've got something to prove here, showing that they're not going to go down without a fight at least.
It is their time to win, and they are going to do their best to ensure that remains true to the name. Keeping Loud Noises backed into the corner. You're seeing they're even jumping away, which on Loud Noises' side is, while it takes a little bit of time, it's faster than respawning 9 times out of 10.
Yep.
If you've got the Tacticooler, it actually makes it nearly immediate. And then on top of that, it guarantees you hold onto your special so you can make pushes like Loud Noises is here.
I was just gonna make that point of, special priority is huge there. Especially with the cooler as well.
Yeah, being able to reliably set up and push your tactic coolers are huge, which is why that push by the heavy edit is going to be very rewarding for Time to Win to be able to capitalize on, because now that edit has to repaint all that turf. You notice they're at 70% now, instead of if they just jumped away or played a little more safely. They had the tactical, they could have dropped it down a good 15-20 seconds ago, and that could have been more room for Loud Noises to continue this push and pressure. They have regained this ground, and they've got the tactical to work with again, but they could have, game might have already been over if they managed to be a little safer and careful with that heavy edit.
Yeah, I'm like, I play a little bit of edit. I don't play that aggressively, but it's fun when you can get that space and just completely shut them down. But very risky play that, and unfortunately did not pay off.
Ooh, speaking of risky plays, they are thirsty for the death of this ink brush, and they're getting punished for it.
I don't blame them, to be honest. But yeah, the risk is not paying off. And finally the brush goes down, but that zone is now ticking for Time to Win as well. Getting very
They are holding control. They only need a few more points to be able to get the knockout. Loud Noises needs to find some kind of push. In comes the triple ink strike that will slow things down, give them a moment to fight back. Will this be enough, or will Time to Win find? No, they do not get their knockout. Not yet anyways. As this brush frenzy is coming in, trying to shark once more. Just really being an attention hog this game. Farming up some killer whale as well. Really nice call there to be like, I can't approach. I might as well set up paint. We get a splat off the killer whale. So that is a very nice reward as we move into the final minute.
Time to Win showing that they have something to prove and that they can do something or pull off something. But Loud Noises just coming in with an amazing response, shutting them down completely, as it's only the dualies remaining, and that's going to be game. And a really unfortunate loss for Time to Win, a hard stagger at the end due to a whale, and yeah, that's just really unfortunate.
Yeah, that whale came in at a very clutch moment, just all the chip damage added on, along with the rest of Loud Noises pressuring. Just, I don't remember which player that was, but they clearly got very overwhelmed in the moment and just ended up getting knocked out. Time to Win did a much better job at that game, but I think ultimately, even in that game, I didn't really see them punishing the ink brush much. It's just that it's a stage that was harder for the ink brush to do the sharking that
I was gonna say, it felt like the ink brush didn't really know where to go. They didn't really have too many moments of, hey, look at me, I'm over here, in a place that was particularly safe for them. On top of that, Time to Win showing glimpses of hope of what they can maybe do in this tournament if they can work on their cohesion and kind of just being less scattered around the map, taking more fights together, and getting some more team pushes out.
Indeed. Best of luck to both teams. We are going to take a quick step back, and when we return, we are going to have more Tristrike Tuesdays. Be right back.